Hi there, BookTube! My name is Christina and today I'm here with one of the videos that I absolutely prefer to film because it's some days after my birthday and this means that I may finally film my birthday haul. And actually the bunch of books that you will see there, I've collected them throughout pretty much all of July and a part of June, because at the end of June I already decided that, hey, why not? July is almost here, so I may actually start buying a couple of books for myself. So I will gather all of those books together and show them to you. And first of all, I will start with a couple of books that I bought at the seaside together with my friends, and it was at the end of June. We had an only girlfriends weekend at the sea. It was amazing. I bought two books. They were so cheap. There was an amazing discount for everything. And the first of the books is Blood by Anne Rice, and it's actually the 10th book in the Vampire Chronicles by Anne Rice, and in English it was Blood Canticle, and this is the Italian paperback edition. So I'm going on with the story. I believe that now I have just 2 or 3 of them to buy, so maybe soon I will finish this series, but I still need to read the previous one, so this one will wait for a bit. And then the second book that I bought, I was so happy buying it because it was so cheap, and it was like a compulsive buy because it was by Neil Gaiman and by Michael Reeves, and in English it was called The Silver Dream. Today I cannot speak in English apparently, and I was so happy. I started it immediately and I wasn't able to understand not even one thing out of it, so I was a bit confused, and only afterwards I discovered that it was the second in a trilogy. Again, as all of us readers complain about it, why publishers don't listen to us? Please put a simple, small, tiny little number somewhere on the cover that will at least suggest that it is a second in a series or in a trilogy, for example. So now I have a second one, and I don't have the first one, nor the third one. Maybe one day in the future. The next 2 books that I have are in Russian because my grandma sent them to me for my birthday, and the first one is this very beautiful book by Rosamunda Pilcher, and in Russian it is Собиратели ракушек, and from what I got, this is a family saga kind of story. It involves probably 3 generations of a family, and I've only read amazing things as reviews for this book, and my grandma loved it so much. And oh yeah, actually in English this is the Shell Seekers. So I love this cover. I mean, this is a small, like, partial dust jacket, but this is the full book, the full version of it. I really like it. And this is the inside. It's very beautiful. And the second book that I have here in Russian is something that I was waiting for so long to get, and it took so much time to translate this book for some reason in Russian, and it is Книга пыли by Philip Pullman. This is, of course, Philip Pullman. What book can it be? Yeah, the newest one that got out, La Belle Sauvage, or the Book of Dust. And I love this cover. It's strange, it has nothing to do with the English edition, but I love it. And look inside, this is the actual hardcover. I mean, how beautiful is it? The fact that the dust jacket and the hardcover are just the same. I love Russian hardcovers, they're always beautiful. And in order to read this one, I actually will have to reread the whole trilogy, and then I will get to this one, but I cannot wait to do so. Next books they have here, I bought them in mid-July, and they are all coming from my trip to Amsterdam. I was there for work, then I was there for a weekend of just fun with my boyfriend, and yeah, here you may see that I've not visited bookshops at all. Yeah. Well, let me start with the very first two books that I bought, and one is the one that I'm reading currently, and it's Are You Experienced by William Sutcliffe, I believe, and the cover is amazing. I loved it from the moment I saw it, and it's all about a backpack trip that a couple does, two friends, and she's interested in discovering herself and India and so on, and he's pretty much only interested in her. So he's not into the trip, he's just into her. And so the premise is very, very funny, and I started it already. I'm liking it. From what I got, it is set in the end of the 90s probably, but still it's very, very enjoyable, and yeah, I cannot wait to finish this one. Then I have something that I always wanted to buy, but I never got to it for some reason, and I'm a little bit disappointed with the edition that I got. I always hope to get the original one, let's say, but it's Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan, and I was so curious to buy this one. I'm not happy with this cover. I prefer the original one, absolutely. But I was in the mood for some light and funny and ironic reads, so these are the two books that I got in the first bookshop that I visited in Amsterdam. Then in the second bookshop that I visited, it was actually the American bookshop, and here I got some very beautiful books. You've already seen one of those in my BookHaul on TBR, and I got these three beauties. They're all classics in a way, but with a manga twist, which means that they have a manga cover and some manga illustrations inside, but they're actually the original works. So here I have Pollyanna by Eleanor H. Porter, and I already read this one. I loved it. I just discovered that it's a series, but I really like the way it ended, and I don't think that I will intend to read the next ones. Then I have The Princess and the Goblin in this beautiful and colorful edition. I just love it so much. And at the very beginning you have a couple of illustrated pages, and they're just so lovely and beautiful. And then inside you have some fully illustrated pages again, so it's a very nice way of reading a classic, and I believe that it's by Macmillan. Yeah, it's by Macmillan. So nice idea, Macmillan. And the third one is the one that you've already seen, and it's Peter Pan, the one that I'm reading now for the BookHaul. Then at the same shop I finally decided to buy Nevernight by J. Christoph. This has been around for so long that at the end it piqued my interest. I've seen so many good reviews about this one, so I hope that I will enjoy and just join the hype wagon. And the very last book that I bought was actually in the airport, because for some reason I thought that I've not bought enough books, so yeah, I got one more, and it's Furyborn. Furyborn by Claire Legrand, not sure. And yeah, this is one more book that has been so hyped during this year, and it was among my new anticipated releases, so I'm just so happy that I got to get this one. For some reason I imagined that it would be a little less chunky, but well, I love it, and I love the feel of the cover. It's really nice and smooth. I like it. And the next bunch of books that I have here are all presents that I got for myself, pretty much, for my birthday, and some of them you already probably can imagine, because they are the ones that I extracted with my TBR jar like habit that I have, and if you're curious I will leave the link down below. And one of the books is Torn by Rowena Miller, and it's about a seamstress who can like sew in her dresses a bit of magic, and so she gets involved in all of the intrigues at the palace. And I was sure that it was like a standalone, but apparently it's not, so I will see how it goes. Then the next book that I decided to get, and it turned out that I bought both of them, they are actually two companion novels. both by Juliette Marillier, and it's Cybele's Secret and then Willwood Dancing in the inverted order. Just look at how beautiful these covers are. They are everything. They're so amazingly detailed. I love this illustrator, and I cannot wait to read this couple of books. Then from the same author, so it was apparently a bunch of books only by her that I bought, is Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier, and this is the first one in a series. It's set in Ireland, and I was searching for something set in Ireland, and I was surprised by the edition. I hoped for like a normal kind of book, but it seems like a massive paperback, even because it's written in a very small font, but we have something like 600 pages in it, so it seems pretty much like Game of Thrones. So yeah, I was a little bit surprised by this edition. Then I have Summers at Castle Auburn by Shannon Sheen, and here I bought this book because I know Shannon Sheen. I love her way of writing. I read some of her books in Italian. I still need to read them in English. And yeah, Summers at a Castle, it's summer, it's so hot right now, it seemed just perfect, so I'm curious to read this one. And again, the cover is just beautiful. The very last book that I have here from this bag is The Sisters of Versailles, the first in a trilogy by Sally Christie. This is one of the books that I've had for the longest time on my wish list on Goodreads and so on, so I decided that it was the perfect time because this year I went again to Versailles and I just wanted to read something to remind me of that visit, and what's better than this one? And the very last thing that I want to show you is just how amazing my friends are, and they decided to gift me for my birthday the third book in the illustrated collection of Harry Potter, and this one is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by the amazing J.K. Rowling. So now I have all of the three of them, and probably in September I don't know if I will reread the first one, but for sure I will read the second one, so sooner or later I will get to this one. And now I got why people complained, let's say, a bit about the weight of this book, because it's actually very heavy. I have no idea how are they thinking to like make the next one, since they got bigger and bigger the farther we go with the story, so that will be pretty interesting to see. And yeah, this is it for my book haul. I'm very curious to know if you've read any of these books, if you've heard about them, or if something is completely new for you. Just let me know down below, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye! Ciao!